Hey guys, thanks for checking in. This is Taylor from thetradinganalyst.com. We're going to take a look at the market here. I'm going to go over some specific levels that I think you should watch and give my analysis and thoughts on the market. But first, I kind of wanted to cover something really quickly because I think it's really important, because last week I made a video on Monday, and I said that I was potentially looking for lower prices in the market, but that I was also looking for a reversal signal. And I had an exchange with someone on YouTube, and I'm not interested in talking about the exchange or anything like that, but it brought up an interesting point, because when I make these videos, a lot of people think that I'm going to hold to my opinion or whatever I was saying in this video, and it doesn't necessarily reflect exactly how I'm trading. Because when I make these videos for you guys, it is not a live video. It's not an inside look into my trading or anything like that. I'm just trying to give you guys helpful information to help you guys navigate the market, but it doesn't always reflect what I'm doing exactly live in the moment. And if you want that live real-time stuff, then you have to become a member. And I'm not just saying that to try to get you to become a member or anything like that. I'm just saying that if you like what I say and you want further information, then the only way to get that is to join, because my members are getting live video updates, they're getting text messages, and they're getting my actual trades. So I want to show you the actual trades that we had last week. Okay, this is from our portfolio tracker. This is something that all of our members get access to, and all these trades that you see here were alerted to members in real time. So you'll note that on Monday, 6/3, okay, we had several puts that we closed on Monday. Okay, when I made that video, I'm closing out most of my short positions. And then, as you can see here, I also initiated some long positions. You can see SPY calls on Monday, and then QQQ calls. All right, so it was a very, very good week for us at the Trading Analyst, and I'm not knocking these videos that I do. I'm still going to keep making them, and many people find them super helpful. But the thing is, when you make a video on a Sunday or a Monday, a lot can happen in one day. You can see here, and I'll just kind of go to the chart again. You can see here, and I'll kind of zoom in a little bit, that this was Monday right here. That was when I was closing out my shorts. And then you can see Tuesday, this is when the reversal signal came, okay? All right? And so a lot of things can happen. So if I'm saying, oh, maybe I'm looking for lower prices on the market, and this happens, well, you better believe that I'm not going to be looking for lower prices any longer. But the thing is, I'm not making a new video since then, because my job is, I make these videos about once a week. Sometimes I do videos during the week if I feel up to it. But my main job and concern is A, making money in the market, and B, making sure that my members are taken care of as well. These YouTube videos and videos that I post on StockTwits, these are kind of my last concern, okay? So just kind of throwing that out there. And if you want those trades, like the trades that we had this last week, all these winners, we had three trades over 100% win. I think it was about 8 wins and 3 losses. It was a very, very profitable week. So if you want trades like this delivered to you in real time via text message along with live video updates, then you have to join to become a member. And I highly suggest that you do so. Okay, so let's get into the market. So we saw a huge reversal here in the market last week, and I definitely think it will continue higher. Whether we kind of chop down here before doing so, and then heading higher after that, I definitely think that the reversal that we saw in the market last week was something that is something that will take the market higher. And if you note in my last video, if you actually watch the entire video, I was saying that the downturn was going to be short-lived. I just didn't know exactly where it was going to reverse. But we saw this, okay? As a trader, you're not a fortune teller, okay? You're not a fortune teller. I personally rarely ever buy at just supports. I wait for signs of strength in the market to get long. And we clearly saw that last week. These huge 4 days in a row is a massive, massive reversal. And I definitely am a buyer on any kind of a dip that we might see. And I kind of want to back it up here. Let's look at a year of action. And you can see here, this is we're right at the 30, we bounced right at the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level. And that was actually why I bought those calls at the lows here that were a really nice trade for the upside move. But we bounced right here. So what does that tell you? We bounced at the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level very strongly, and that is basically the earliest you can dip. So the stronger the market, the shallower the dip. So if we went all the way down to the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement level before bouncing, that to me would still keep this uptrend line intact, or uptrend intact, but it wouldn't be as bullish. But since we came just down to the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level and bounced from there, to me that tells me that this is a very, very healthy uptrend. And if you notice here, after heading higher all this time, getting this little dip honestly is nothing in comparison to this huge, massive upside move. And I want to back it up to 2 years and show you that first and foremost, this big, huge dip we saw right here, I don't think we're going to see anything like that, okay? We had a big bear market right here. Yeah, the bear market only lasted for about 3 to 4 months, but technically, if you're looking at the S&P 500, but a lot of stocks, and I've covered this time and time again, but a lot of stocks, while we were making this upside move, starting in kind of like June and July, were heading lower. So even though the market headed up to new all-time highs, there were a lot of stocks that were out there that were heading lower during that time. So that's why it wasn't a huge surprise that we headed lower at this point in time. And this was actually a huge profitable time for myself and members, because we got a huge down move right there. And it was something that we were expecting. But we're not seeing what we're seeing over here. So yes, we can get dips just like we saw over here, but I think the damage was already done here, and we're not going to see anything like that. And if you note, too, the dip here that we're seeing, again, is so much shallower. You can see that we dipped from here, I'm just showing you examples, from here all the way down to here. And you could see, and that's the first bounce that we got was right here, okay? That was the first bounce, okay? We came down here from here to here. Look at how much shallower that is. We went so much deeper on this dip right here. So what does that tell you? First and foremost, it's a higher low. It's a higher low compared to this, all right? So I definitely think the market is on its way to new all-time highs. Now, don't hold me to this, okay? Because if something happens in the near term, you better believe that I'm going to react to it. But right now, as the evidence stands, I think that new all-time highs is definitely a realistic thing to happen. So if you look here, just going to kind of show some charts here. So Apple, first and foremost, let's back it up a little bit more. Here's Apple, and this is a level here that when I made my last video, you can go back, watch this video that I made on Apple, and I said this was a support level that you have to watch on Apple. Okay, it was a support level from all this sideways trading and the 61.8. Look at where we bounced at. All right, so you're welcome. And as you can see, a huge, huge bounce happened off of that level. You don't get really strong bounces like that that we saw here on Apple without it being a for real move. So yeah, we can kind of retrace and trade sideways or a little bit like that, but I definitely think that this is the bottom. I definitely think that this is the bottom, and I would be, again, I've been wrong before, but I would be very surprised if this low is broken here on Apple. So that's Apple. We'll look at Amazon. Amazon, huge, huge move. And notice here, you guys, volume is very, very important here. Notice how on this dip, you see, there wasn't really any high volume days, okay? But notice where the high volume came. Right here on this big red day after it had already moved down big. So what does that tell you? That tells you that the big boys, they were buying into this red, okay? They were buying. And how do you know that? How do you know that? Well, because we headed straight higher after this day, okay? Green day the next day. Green day the next day. Don't let that red candle fool you. We actually closed over the previous day's high right there on a gap up with a higher high and a higher low. Another green day after that. Boom. So this volume marked the low right there, okay? Heavy, heavy volume marks either tops or bottoms. And what do you know? If you look back over here, on this day, this big green day, notice how that was followed by or accompanied by heavy volume. And notice what happened after that. Kind of traded sideways, and then what? We headed lower. So this is how the big boys disguise their selling, okay? All right? They're selling into strength, and they're buying into weakness. And you can see that by volume. It's very easy to see, all right? Yeah, you don't know that this is going to be the low at this point in time, but since we went green the next day, that's when you can kind of figure, it's kind of the day after that you want to wait to see. And yeah, you're not going to catch the exact low, but you can see here clearly we bounced off of that. A high volume marks either tops or bottoms, and you can see here this is the heaviest volume day we've seen since, I'm going to look over here. You can see since this day over here. Heavy volume, what happened over here? Marked a bottom, and we headed higher after that, okay? So you can see that clearly on Amazon. The next one we're going to look at is Facebook. Facebook, same thing. What happened here? This panic low right here with heavy volume, followed by the next day, heavy green volume, and then boom, we're heading higher right there. So again, and we bounce right at this support. And this is another level here that I pointed out in my last video. All right? 160. Yeah, we didn't hit 160 exactly, but right around that area. It's important when you're looking at support and resistance levels that you're not looking at it penny for penny. Okay? These are general zones that you want to be looking at. We bounced right at that level that I said it was likely we were going to bounce at. Okay? So Facebook. Heavy green volume right here. I definitely think it looks like it's bottoming. All right. The other thing too, and this goes back to what I was saying previously, is that look at this volume right here. Big gap up, red day, heavy volume right here, and then that marked the top, and we headed lower. Okay, so it was a panic buy. Okay, and this is where the big boys hid their selling right there, and this is where the big boys hid their buying. Okay. Notice how much lower we went after that big volume day. Okay, notice that this is just the beginning of this big volume day. This is the biggest volume day that we've seen on Facebook since over here. Big gap up, and then we traded sideways a little bit, and then a big move higher from about 160 to 195. That is a huge move higher, and it all started with a big high volume breakout. And what do you know right here? This is the second biggest volume day that we've seen this year, and it's at a low, and we're bouncing heavy off of it, off of support, right around the same level that we gapped up huge on this level. So I definitely think Facebook could head higher as well. And again, I'm pointing out these stocks here not to give you specific buy and sell signals on these stocks, but just to show you the health of the market. And when you look at these big names in the market, they have a heavy, heavy impact on the market. So that's Facebook. Next one is Google. Same thing with Google. Okay, heavy volume, panic low, big gap down, and then what happened after that? We just kind of traded sideways, and look at this second day right here. Big volume day right here. All right, second day was green, also had heavy volume as well. All right, traded sideways, and then boom, we gapped up and closed over the previous 3 days highs. I definitely think that Google has found a bottom right here as well. Right? And you can see here, we bounced right around this general support zone. Okay, right around this general support zone, 1020 or so. Okay, so I at least see this as a short-term bottom here for Google. Notice the other few times we came down to this level and the heavy volume that we saw. Heavy volume, boom, bounced off of it, broke it a little bit, but then headed higher. You can see on this break, what happened on this break? Heavy volume, and then what happened next? We broke higher and had a massive move. So I definitely think, you know, again, when we came down here last time, you can see that it chopped around for a while, and I definitely think that is possible. I don't know if it's going to happen. Again, quick reminder, I don't have a crystal ball, but I definitely think that this is going to be most likely a bottom here, at least in the short term. We could chop around, we could head straight up. I have no idea. The next one I kind of want to look at is Netflix. And Netflix here had a huge false breakdown right here. And you can see that we had this support right here. Boom, boom, boom. Lots of support on that same level. We broke that support and we closed over it right here. All right. So it had its opportunity to break down. Didn't quite do it. Now, does that mean it's going to head higher? No, it doesn't mean that, because we still have this resistance above us right here. But if we close over Friday's high, over about 366 approximately, then I definitely think Netflix can head higher. Okay, Netflix is the one that I'm not quite as sure about, but it bounced where it had to. It had a false breakdown with a huge reversal signal here, so you have to give the benefit of the doubt to the bulls. All right, so that's Netflix. The next one we'll look at is Microsoft, and what do you know? Same thing here with Microsoft. And again, when I made my video last week, I said that Microsoft is my favorite because it's just so bullish, just so much more bullish, because one of the rest of the stocks were making lower highs when the market kind of dipped. Microsoft went to new all-time highs, and this is an all-time high, and we just made a new all-time high on Friday. This is very, very bullish, and this is a key stock for the market. Again, I'm not looking for some kind of a buy signal here to actually trade Microsoft. If you are, that's totally fine. It's a great bullish stock, but I'm just pointing out because Microsoft is a huge player in the market, and if Microsoft is bullish, typically the market is going to be bullish. Same with Apple, same with Facebook, Google, Netflix, and Amazon. Okay, these are all key stocks, and you can see very bullish moves to end the week last week. And another thing too, and this is a big strategy that I use here within the membership and in my own trading, is a false breakdown. You can see we had support here, support. We broke this support with heavy volume. You can see that here. And then we gapped over it right here. That's the entry signal right here. And you can see a big bullish move right there. So I really hope that this video has helped you out. If you have any questions about anything that I've discussed in this video, please feel free to reach out to me. I love talking with traders out there and talking shop. If you'd like to receive real-time trade alerts like all of these that we just had last week, then join the premium membership. We've got 3 different membership options: monthly, quarterly, and annual. I hope to see you in there, and I'll see you guys next week.